Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Cayne. C-A-Y-N-E. Oh, it took us quite a while to finish the puzzle and get the fuse box open to get through this room. And there's more secrets here. I know, but they're for a puzzle later. A later puzzle, I believe.
Sorry. I mean, gee whiskers.
What is it?
It's brains.
Brains?
Brains.
Animal?
No, I don't think so.
Hmm. So, why she's saying gee whiskers, I don't know. Is she trying to... she wasn't even planning on keeping her kids, so why she's teaching herself to not cuss is kind of left out there. It helps certainly for video games, though. Coffee stains a random assortment of inscrutable, insignificant academic junk clutter, the antique walnut top. So there's this wooden desk here, a worn wooden desk. And then we have a brain nutrient tank. The stuff of science fiction body horror turned into terrifying reality. Wish we could zoom in and get a bigger picture. Personal data tag printer. Brain nutrient tank. Blood-stained bed. Oh no, I'm gonna have to lie down in that, am I not? Private journal has been knocked to the floor. And see, PDAs, people don't even use PDAs. So, here we have Sharon Kanye Musk. So, is she the boss? Let's see. I'm gonna try and skip over most of this. Just to see. Insisting that she's called Mother. Okay. Another crazy person, it looks like. I think all the people around here are crazy. There's some weirdness in the animation of these people too, because Hadley, the main character who we're playing as, covered in blood in their hands here, and these hands look rather nice. Looks great and doesn't really match the animation style. So there's probably some hints in these PDAs, but they're hidden in such a cacophony of insanity. But here we have Sharon Kanye Musk number. This is a number to Danny Boland, who the bird. So seems like they may have killed his bird. It's like cussing in this. A lot of talk about the parrot. Wonder if that's what the monster is that we saw earlier, is just a somehow genetically modified parrot and not an alien. A lot of backstory happening here that frankly show don't tell is always the case in video games, always the case in movies or TV. Show don't tell, and this is just telling. Well, we found it finally. So this was number 54110, the very last thing. The birthing lab is, the code is lightning plus flag play. Alright. Bloated brain and detached brain and personal data tag printer.
PDT. This must be how they're making the security tags.
There must be an easier way.
This facility seems to do things the hard way. I've heard of spinal tagging on animals, right into the nervous system. Maybe this is like an upgrade. These aren't animals.
Sure we are. We're just meat puppets.
Puppets? What an interesting job.
Hi, friend. I'm Ral. Let's print the PDT together.
Okay. We don't have a blank PDT. And we don't have a PDT template. And we don't have a cryoregulator. So we need 3 things before we can get back to this. And that probably tells me that we are good for now. Although we do need a PDT to eventually escape. There's a couple of things though we're gonna need to do. Let's see. Let's go ahead and scroll all the way back down to this. And look, lightning plus flag play. Remember that short phrase and unlock the next area. We may get a cutscene somewhere here. Groom Lake properties. Interesting. So, like, housing? I don't know what that can mean. My guess is we are on some kind of spaceship. Either we're on a spaceship or we're on an underground facility. And otherwise you wouldn't need to circulate oxygen. Unless we're on some planet that doesn't have oxygen. Crew facilities wasn't the one. Birthing nexus. So, lightning plus flag play. Unlock.
Anything else you can make out around you?
No. Deep thumping noise. Like a machine.
Another generator, maybe? Focus on the last thing you do remember.
I can't. There are flashes. A hospital. Family. They didn't like me much.
Join the club.
They wanted what I have.
Huh? What's that?
Money. My name. Then they left me. Or I pushed them away.
Why?
They weren't good enough. They weren't willing to put in the hard work. Wanted to be given things. Given. The things that I bled over.
Well, I don't talk to Mother anymore. And my dad. Well, he is.
So,
Distant. She was always like that. It's just unlikable. She sure made it clear, enough, that I was too much like him. That she saw too much of me in me.
I'm sorry, Hadley. Sometimes we unintentionally hurt the ones we love.
Such greeting card bullshit. You don't hurt the people you love the people you love.
So you can see why Hadley was thinking about getting rid of the baby. Doing more than thinking about it, was getting rid of the baby at the beginning of this game. Is that she didn't have a very good role model. Anyways. Samantha. Important security warnings. And we have another hallway here. Old plasma and unrecognizable stains have been formed in interesting patina on the metal floor. That's a big word, patina. Let's go left before we go straight. So, is this some kind of scheme where people get rid of people they don't want to? So, somebody wanted to steal the baby and possibly get rid of Hadley, and somebody wanted to get rid of the voice that we're hearing. Ooh. This displays primitively summarizes the current temperature, humidity, and toxicity and other status levels of the specimen's habitat. These specimens in the habitat are inert and unresponsive, perhaps of some kind of induced coma. So there's like grubs and a glass barrier, a biological growth. We have a retrieving platform and a terminal. Let's look at the terminal and see if we need a PDT to begin with, because if we do, we'll probably don't have anything to do in this area. Julia Curran logged in. Check in. Caligula, Attila, Menangele, Genghis, Mal, Nero, Vlad. I probably mispronounced that guy's name. So each one of these grubs are named after warlords. Vlad was temporarily removed from the habitat using a baited container canister. Caligula has exhibited extreme aggression towards his sisters. Mal consumed 5 appendages from Nero. I have supplied raw meat and plasma to encourage brood gas production. Vlad produced an excess of nootropic vapor, which resulted in low visibility in the habitat. 1 cubic meter of gas was shipped to the Kern lab for the subjugation of Samantha. Vlad was returned to the habitat. Attila started the metamorphic process of applied metabolism inhibitor in order to inhibit stage 2 maturation. So they're using the gas from these grubs to inhibit Samantha. The grubs are responding aggressively to negatively to maternal vocal calls. This is a possible rupture in the there's a possible rupture in the grub containment enclosure that's causing the brood gas leak is in turn agitating Samantha. Habitat humidity reduced from 84 RH to 512 hour hybrid for the 512 hibernation cycle. I'm making a note of the crew facilities password in case Bolin locks me out again. So play lightning plus play. And there's no other things here, so that was just a code. Unless I'm supposed to do something with the retrieving platform.
God, this smells terrible in there. Yeah, just thinking about it.
So we would need a baited canister. And I guess our best thing to do is just get the password and unlock the thing first before anything else. Plus lightning, play lightning plus play. Before we even do anything else, let's just go back to where we started and put in that code. It seems like we're doing enough in this game. This game does have achievements, and I wonder if I went back and exited it out and looked at them, how many of them I've already gotten, because I imagine, even though there's a lot of them, you probably unlock one for doing everything. Either that, or there's a lot more game here than I think. And I don't really believe that. I think we're approaching seeing maybe 60% of the game. So play lightning plus play.
Worked.
This can't be how I meet my end. I have so much more inside of me. I have so much more to give to the world.
Yep. This wasn't my plan either. This wasn't how it was supposed to be.
You're young. You can get through this.
And then I'm stuck. didn't end well. My family had bad luck with babies. And continue with the proud family tradition.
So, and it walked me in that whole conversation to the crew facilities, but let's not go there yet. Let's just walk here. It's pretty predictable what's gonna happen. At least the cliche solution to this very weird story would be that she goes through this struggle and decides to keep the baby. And maybe it gets a little crazy and the baby's an alien or a monster. But otherwise, that's pretty predictable.
You're scared.
Heck yeah, I'm scared. This place. Create this.
Monsters.
Monsters, for sure. So we have a floating corpse. Lacerated ribbons of flesh and mucus from the frame, shattered vertebrae, as some grotesque work about. A mangled PDT clings to the spinal cord. So we do need that PDT. Acrid black smoke loops from the melted circuitry and plastic. But it looks like this is an electrified pool, too. Smells like an abattoir. And organic fluids. Yeah, it just really feels like this game, with its a whip. A strip of letters sways gently. Alright, let's go get a whip. Feels like this game only got the important audio and didn't do anything else. It would have been a better game if it had gotten all of it. So you have this restraining harness, tethered straps and mangled clamps dangling. So was this where the monster was? He was tied up on this cross-shaped thing. So that's the second cross we've seen in this game too. And then it slid or dipped into that. Let's look at the PDA and just breeze through things. I wish you could pick them up though and just save them. So here we have Professor John Kern, another.
Cloning is unpredictable. Cloning an individual is impossible.
It sounds like they were using something special. Called Samantha.
So they're trying to clone their main boss. And it is pronounced Cayne. I wish they'd said the name out loud. And here we have several religious references. Now we have Job 41:3. Leviathan is Samantha. Nothing on earth is or equal a creature without fear. The book of Job 41:3. That's probably not even a real quote, if I was to guess. But maybe. Taken way out of context. And look at this PDA. It's so oddly put together. Never again will he die. Never again will he feel pain. So we've got a lot of biblical references going on here. So the question then, am I Samantha or am I is Hadley carrying the baby of Cayne? And of course Cayne is misspelled here, but because it would be Cain, the brother of Abel, son of Adam and Eve. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reference. I mean, well, obviously that's the reference. So I'm just trying to move through all of this dialogue, and I wish she would either read this out loud or summarize it into something, because that's a lot of dialogue that I imagine they were going to put in a bigger game, because they've got a weird story that's a lot longer than what they were talking about. And this is a voice encoder. An authoritative voice broadcast from the tiny recording device. Oh, so it's not even a PDA. I thought it would have been weird to have two PDAs.
That was nasty.
Wow. A uterus made of flesh and machine. In an organic fluid. So they're stealing babies, maybe making clones in the babies of Cayne in the women, and this broken lever mechanism. Let's see. This with this.
Stupid Hadley.
This with this.
I don't think it works that way.
Am I supposed to use the whip on the womb? Or the whip on the broken lever mechanism?
Maybe if I rotate it sideways.
Hmm.
No.
Maybe I use the whip on the floating corpse. That kind of makes sense. Burning machinery. I've got the whip on several different things, but yeah, I don't know. Move on to the voice recorder.
John Kerr, note to self, all that have not fins from scales in the seas, and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Leviticus 9:10.
And did I try the blade on the womb? I guess that's all we can do for now. So yeah, it feels like this game was going to be a little bit bigger and have more voice acting and everything. If we got voice recorders in all of those elements. That's the weird thing about point and click adventures in particular. They're kind of inexpensive, relatively speaking, games to make, but then you have to make it a talkie because they're for at least 3 decades. You want almost all the dialogue to be read out
Where the
loud.
monsters play.
Still no sign of anyone.
Do plants count? This horrible place must have had more people around.
Tables and chairs. Holographic notice board. Space soup and space special. That's a Spaceballs reference there. That's exactly what the waitress in Spaceballs offers to the 2 main characters. And then one of the guys orders the space soup, and then a alien bursts out of the stomach of another guy who had ordered the space. It's seen things you wouldn't believe. And holographic tin of Juca-Cola. And then it's all that flavor text at the bottom. If that was read out loud, that'd be real funny. There'd be some good comedy here. Actually. Quite some decent comedy. Let's turn off the boombox. Retro cassette that says Broseph Megamix number 69. Come on, turn it off. Can I not What if we did this instead?
Voice file capture. Can I get a JOSEPH?
What did I do? Bent stripper pole. The steel pole is damaged but probably still useful somehow. You kind of see that they are trying to go with some slightly dirty jokes, but they're not pushing it too far. Which, it's a delicate dance, but I think they're doing it pretty well. I've certainly played worse attempts at that, where it just gets boring and irritating if you get too dirty. Minor elevator effect. So here's a twisted wreck of an elevator, smashed glass and screw up metal, not much else. And then Cindy Mallon and Daniel Boland. We don't have the ID. And an empty apartment. So these were the apartments they were talking about then, that they were using Dr. S. Adams. And I just assumed that these are all locked permanently. No name on that holographic display. So we've got a ripped open door and a PDA and a doorway. So we're getting into further and further sections.
Terribly decorated.
They got me on that one. That's actually quite funny. Safe has been chewed off the hinges. Vintage photographs. Some other place, some other time. You see all this blood and you're thinking that there's talking about the blood, and that's why she's making a gagging sounds. And no, she says it's because it's terribly decorated.
Oh my god. I know him. I know this guy.
What guy?
There's a photo of... Oh shit.
Old boyfriend?
Drunken bar night and a morning full of regrets. They paid for the procedure. They chose the hospital.
Who?
Cayne Corporation.
So this guy set everything up. So we now have a picture of him and we now have his voice. So there's damaged radio, blurs static tune, romance novel, titles like Bird of the Omniverse, The Cosmonaut's Mistress, and The Interstellar Scandal still legible. Let's see, shattered picture frame. It's a portrait of an old man in a white laboratory coat. We have a PDA, discarded equipment. Let's take this piece of equipment. It's a blank PDT.
And it looks unused.
How do you know?
No blood on it. And it doesn't smell like rotting meat.
So, we figured out that there's we figured out a couple of things. So we've gotten the one piece to get the PDT installed, but we still need a PDT template and I think an ID card. And we can read this PDA next time, and we can mess with the personal terminal next time. I don't even think we're going to do anything with the personal terminal, actually. And we figured out some of the story, too, to know that this has all been a setup from the word go, and they probably impregnated her with some kind of weird alien baby. And so now, more than ever, she probably wants to get rid of it. But we'll have to see what really happens. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.